Colleagues, my name is Kofi Ali Abdul-Yekin, Chairman, ECOWAS Citizens' Rights Advocate. As usual, I come your way again. And whenever I have the opportunity to engage with you, you know what I'm going to talk about. The right of ECOWAS citizens to vote for those who will directly represent them, to vote directly for those who will represent them in ECOWAS Parliament. As simple as ABC. I'm not asking for anything. Allowing the people of the West African member states of ECOWAS to directly vote individually for their representatives to the ECOWAS Parliament. Is this too much to ask? Almost 20 years I've been hammering and echoing and talking and shouting and crying about the same thing. And what beats me, that I can't just understand, is when you hear people asking me, Kofi Ali, that why should they vote in the ECOWAS election? And you wonder, why any decent person today in West Africa should ask me or anyone that stupid question? It's stupid, it's irresponsible. Most of those who ask this question will tell you that the voting, as I'm trying to explain it, is copying the Europeans. And that we don't have to copy the Europeans. And the person telling me this is wearing shirt and trouser. And he's telling me, Kofi Ali, that, and he's communicating, they communicate to you right on the platform in English. They write in French. They drive cars. They work in office. Some of them even call themselves accountants. And they say we should not copy the white man. Are you, Kofi Ali, asking us to copy the Europeans? If they are doing what is right, why not? And when we turn around, we say our people are not developed. And when you check what development means, we are technically saying that we should be building houses the way the white man is building houses. We go to hospital the way they go to hospital. We build the road the way they build the road. Then they turn around to tell me, Kofi Ali, why you say we should copy them? Why are we not going to copy what is right? The worst part of these people I've ever met are those who are saying that we in West Africa, on the continent of Africa, particularly in West Africa and in Ghana, we are being forced to do democracy. How? That the democracy they have brought to us is causing problems. How? How? It means we are so stupid we don't even know what we are doing. Democracy is a simple thing. Look, we want a leader. We want a visionary. How do we identify that person? That's all what democracy is saying. So instead of someone coming to convince people and they take arms and attack the next village and we start killing ourselves the way we used to do in the past. All we want to do in our ancestral days is to just redefine our fate and destiny. Redefine our identity, our sovereignty. And in doing that, sometimes it's very dirty. Thank God I wasn't born in those days. See people putting knife in each other's stomach and then cutting head and then chop people off. I don't want to be part of that. And I'm not part of that. But I'm in the age where possibilities can take place. Changing the destiny of people can take place without firing one shot. And that is by the ballot box. As I talk to you, the Europeans are gearing up to vote for the members of their parliament. And we are telling you this is the only thing they are doing that we are not doing in ECOWAS. And you have people telling me, Kofi Ali, that why should we vote? Yet in Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Senegal, when they are going for elections, it's like they're about to kill themselves. If it is useless, why are we doing it? We shouldn't have started it. The same people who claim to be leaders of political party and activists in Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Gambia, and Mali are the same people who are telling me, no. When you say ECOWAS, it's like you have asked our people to do something that no one has done before. Yet we are already in ECOWAS, we are paying ECOWAS. Now what we are doing, and let me tell you our stupidity. What we are doing, we elect people to go to the parliament as the colonial masters left us to be doing in our countries. which is a trap by the colonial master because they can control those ones. Then in the parliament of our country, they choose people to go to the ECOWAS parliament that we created later. In that parliament, because they are choosing from the parliament of their countries, they write what they are going to read for them. So they are not going there to have any serious debate. They are not answerable to the people. They are answerable to the parliament, and the parliament, anybody who is there will just write for them and go and read it. So you don't have opposition, you don't have for or against. It's yeah, everybody go home. What kind of parliament is that? We are saying we want independent people, independent-minded people, under the banner of political parties or not, to go and fight for their position and go to ECOWAS parliament, and let's see what will happen. Now let me tell you one secret. You see, people who are parliamentarians or those who occupy the executive office, parliamentarians and those who occupy executive positions, there are two things, especially the president and the parliament, particularly the parliament. They are those who are there to make your laws. While they are in the parliament making the laws that the executive will follow, the understanding is that, right, they are just human beings like anyone, so they could be vulnerable. Now, democracy then says that in the past, the rich are the only ones who choose people to go there. So when they go there, the rich will be paying for them. And democracy said, no, everyone must have a right to choose those who go there. The idea behind everyone must have a right is that everyone has one vote. But this is the secret of your vote. You see, if you do not vote for them to go, like we have in ECOWAS, that some people just choose them as a favor to go, not we the people. Remember, the rich man has only one vote. One vote. No rich man has two votes. Rich man has one vote. Poor man has one vote in democratic environment. Good. But the rich man has his interests. The upper class, the rich people, they have their interests. First, they know their interests. That is to keep the poor down there.
Make a U-turn.
But the poor, what the poor are doing, what the poor are, the advantage the poor are having is that they have to vote. In the voting is when they control those they send to parliament. Now, the rich man will pass behind with his pocket of money and he will go and do what we call lobbying. In other words, pay the lawmakers to make laws that will work for the interests of the rich. Now, if it's on one man, one vote, and the rich people have got more votes, they don't need to pay members of parliament. They just be voting for them the way they like you have in apartheid South Africa. But when everyone is voting, including the poor have the largest number. So when you are voting, whatever laws you make, at the end of every 4 years, the people you vote for, you elected vote for, will go back to the people. And the majority are the poor. Because of that, they will be able to take the interest of the voters at heart too, apart from those who are lobbying and paying them. So you have check and balance in itself. Now, this is a secret. If you don't vote like we don't do in ECOWAS parliament for people to go there, oh yes, they will end up there, but they will be cheap because those who are lobbying them will rather go and lobby those who choose them to go there. And they pay them. And when they choose this one, it's like a favor. After all, when they go to ECOWAS parliament, there is allowance they collect for doing nothing. So to them, it's a favor. So the poor man that is not voting for anyone to go to ECOWAS parliament, it's going to be a loser. Nobody will decide for you what you want. Nobody. But when you vote yourself, you might be poor, but you are not stupid. That's what we, ECOWAS citizens' right advocates, are saying. Poverty is not stupidity. And to be poor is not a curse. What is the curse is to be stupid. Stupid. You can be stupid by being insensitive to anything. And we, the ECOWAS citizens' right advocate, are telling you, you wake up. You better wake up. If you want ECOWAS to work for you, you want West African Authority to work for you, other than the government of just the country in which you find yourself, that you didn't choose to be born there, you find yourself there. Boy, wake up. Wake up. And as for the empty head, the hopeless ones, asking me, Kofi Ali, what has ECOWAS done for us? What will ECOWAS done for you? What have you done for ECOWAS? You have not voted. They even call you to take your tax. You are useless. You are hopeless. The lobbyists are paying those there. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. And ECOWAS is not Nigerian government, for God's sake. We only put the headquarters of ECOWAS in Abuja. It's like in African Union. Addis Ababa government is different. The government of Ethiopia is different from the African Union Authority. That is what we are telling you. The fact that you have Westminster in London, the Westminster Council is not the same as the Westminster Parliament. Government is they are two different things. And this is exactly what ECOWAS is. And we are telling you, ECOWAS is responsible for the regional challenge. Right now, as I talk to you, you could see that Donald Trump is now fighting with China so that they'll save jobs for Americans. And the Chinese government are responding. They are putting tariff, increasing it into billions for themselves. What about us? Even Almighty Britain, the Chancellor Hammond, is crying that when they finish this fight, they will suffer. When the elephant fight, the grass will suffer. We are the grass. Why don't we turn ourselves into something? Please and please and please. I've always told you, if you are moved by what we are saying, my number is 07737224787. Go WhatsApp, get in touch, and let's have sensible people to add to our group so that we can have people who will talk, who will speak. It is only by we engaging ourselves and talking seriously and radically. Some people say we are radicals. I don't know what is radical about asking for our right to vote. We are radical. We are far-fetched in our thoughts, in our wants, in our mind. What have we done? We are suffering. We want people to have a job. And this ECOWAS, when we change it, you see what will happen. And the only change we want everything to remain the way it is. The only change is let the people in the countries in their general election be voting as well for those to go and represent them directly in ECOWAS parliament. I think that makes sense. Nobody gave us democracy. We are not stupid. If someone wears a shirt and I see that he wears a shirt and I go and wear a shirt, am I learning how to wear a shirt from him? Yes, I saw him wear a shirt. But I'm not stupid because he's good. That's why I'm wearing a shirt. I eat with fork and knife. I wear suits. I'm a human being. And people will be disturbing us with their useless culture that will never take anyone anywhere. The only thing they know is racism and black and white. Please, let us move. Thank you.